Sharp, detailed, crisp and bright even in low light, this is how we want footage from dashcams to look like. The N2S by Vantrue delivers so that, checking its great features and inspecting for possible drawbacks, let's get started! So, welcome everyone, another video where we will inspect great working dashcam from the company Vantrue, which so far has been delivering exceptional quality of their products, and each and every time their devices surprise us with awesome features. I had the chance to try the Vantrue N2S for a few weeks this winter, and while I'm not necessarily in the need of a dashcam that captures the car's cabin, well, this was quite a good opportunity to try something new and see how far this technology has gone. Apparently, there's plenty to talk about, but let me first begin with the most important component that forms our buying decisions: the price. Around $200 sounds like an obligation they've taken to deliver really good quality, and generally Vantrue have always been active on the high-end side in terms of build quality and components used. So, diving into the hardware bits, starting with the unboxing, so good. Presentation is great, the box looks and feels great and kind of justifies the price tag. You do feel that inside there's going to be something designed the right way. Okay, set of guides and leaflets. Do the reading first before using it. In this video, I'm going to present you each and every step from the setup and the installation, but it won't cover all the details that you can find inside, so read them. Taking out the components now, they're divided in 3 containers. First one stores the dashcam itself. You can notice the great quality, and hey, here we already see the first big surprise: a dashcam with Type-C charging port, HD output, reset button and microSD slot right next to it. Inside the other box, the charger with extra USB port in case you want to charge another device simultaneously, pry tool and the suction cup for mounting on the windshield. That's most of it. So before powering on, let me quickly guide you through the most important hardware specifications so that we can adjust our expectations for the image quality and the features provided. It's a dual-cam system with front and rear positioned lenses. The main one is quite unique. First of all, comes with the popular Sony Starvis IMX335 image sensor. It's a 5-megapixel sensor and delivering exceptional quality anyways. Now, the extra mile that Vantrue have gone is the magic they've done with the optics. Comes with a much wider aperture than the usual, f/1.4, and has 155 degrees field of view. Usually, the larger the aperture, the more light reaches the sensor and the more premium the lens is, so well done so far. The other sensor is IMX307 with f/1.8 aperture and good optics and 165 degrees field of view. There's a 2-inch LCD, maximum resolution of 1440p when both front and rear one are recording. Supports up to 256GB microSD cards, has GPS, which is part of the mount, motion detection, infrared for the cabin camera, and supercapacitor instead of a battery with amazing temperature tolerance. So that's a great dashcam on theory, something that you can confidently use in case you live at a place with extreme heat during the summer or coldness in the winter, and supposed to pack top-of-the-line features. If you plan to get it though, there's something weird I have to address. They recommend to not use a SanDisk or Transcend card. I didn't notice this at the start and can confirm that my 64U1 SanDisk card worked just fine. Okay, installation is the next step. Parking monitoring is one of its strengths. However, in the pack there's no included hardwire kit, sadly. So let me help there by providing a link to such one in the description below the video. Without hardwire kit, the camera will only record when it automatically starts together with the car's engine and stop as soon as you turn the engine off. Installation in this scenario literally takes a few minutes. Just find a good place to mount the camera, connect the power cable, adjust the angle of view, and you're all set. Of course, a good idea is to check the configuration in advance. There's no smartphone app, so we do it the old-fashioned way. The display is good enough and large enough to help you with that. So, menus. They're pretty straightforward. Record setup, system setup, and access to the files. The system setup defines the language, date and time, screen behavior, sounds, the GPS function, and so on. The record setup is about the video qualities. This is where we choose the preferred resolution and adjust the settings that we want, like the duration of the recordings. There aren't too many image adjustments available, but that's not a problem because the Vantrue N2S is really well tuned and the image quality is pretty decent, as you notice. Last thing to do is, of course, to make sure that you're gently hiding the cable and making sure that the installation is as discreet as possible. Another bonus thanks to the construction, the camera is easy to be removed, it has QR option, and the holder, by the way, contains the GPS module and is compatible with some other Vantrue dashcams. Good to see consistency across the portfolio. Speaking of which, image quality is part of that because, look, so sharp and crisp and detailed. It was still winter at the time I recorded most of that, so you won't see shiny bright days with great blue sky, mostly fog, snow and the grayscale, but that's life and seasons change pretty quickly. Now, apparently there's nothing to criticize about daylight. Amount of details is great, and the current bitrate for a 3-minute recording, it will occupy around 300 megabytes from your SD card. Now switching to low light, I was expecting perfection. And don't get me wrong, results are excellent. As you can see, the amount of details is great, there's no noise, most of the times the plates of the cards are readable, but there's a little more they could have squeezed out of the low light footage. Note that here I refer to the initial firmware version that the camera was shipped with. In similar conditions, the performance of the 70Mi Pro Plus was a little better. Since Vantrue N2S has no Wi-Fi, the updates can be done only by downloading the file from their website and applying it via SD card, and lucky me, there's a new firmware and improvements were notable. So now we know that Vantrue takes care about improving their devices in time. During the testing period, I actually found no other bugs or issues. Now, the other module, covering the cabin, is pretty interesting too. Can be fun to watch people's face expressions while being on the road, and at night, thanks to the infrared support, it looks more like a vampire party, but still provides a good idea about positioning of people. But I can for sure say that this could have easily been a scene from a horror movie involving zombies. Okay, playing a bit more footage while I highlight the weaknesses that I've discovered during testing. Not that there are many more to talk about, but since I want my videos to be always truthful and helpful, we have to mention that there's no Wi-Fi, meaning that no interaction possible between the Vantrue N2S dashcam and a smartphone. The weird thing about micro SD card support and avoiding SanDisk. And the other part I didn't like is the fact that Vantrue states that when you're recording through the front unit only, it can be done in 4K. But that would be interpolated because the front sensor is 5 megapixels only and you need at least 8 for true 4K recording. That's a bit misleading and brings not much of value. Also, at this price point, getting a hardware kit inside the box would have been nice. But overall, this is one of the most stable, quickly responding and decent dashcams I've ever tried. I can't say it's the best in its price range, but definitely among the contenders that we can easily trust due to the good quality components and the supercapacitor inside. And with all that, our job here is done and we've just inspected the N2S by Vantrue, a dual 2K dashcam which I can recommend alongside some of the other models that we have tested on the channel. If you enjoyed this episode, please give me a sign for that by hitting the like button, kindly reminding you that subscribing is for free and is the shortest path to getting more cool tech reviews here. Drive safely, take good care of yourself, and I'll see you soon. Bye!